CHAMPKART, brought to you by Briggs and Stratton. Here we are at Mosport Kartways for the Canadian Karting Championships. Group photo. Get to see all the volunteers and workers and all the drivers. A big hurrah. Great thing about kart racing, it's a family sport. You can do it from a very young age, and we still got some gentlemen pushing 60 that get into the odd go-kart and participate in some of the races. This is the final. Briggs and Stratton in a newer class called the Cadet class. 8 years old is the entry level. Daniel Ali, one of the newer drivers. Look at the kids, they are just so excited. They got their helmets, they got their racing suits. This is very safe, by the way. Neck collar, safety first in the Briggs and Stratton Cadet class. That's Callum Baxter, your pole sitter, and outside pole. Just love to have the young ladies racing. That's Lily Flintoff in second. Ethan Donkers, I remember him from last year in third place. Ashton Henkel is in fourth. Aiden Ingrata will be starting on the third row in P5. That's Owen Mahar, P6. Scotty Watkins, there's a Jordan DeLeo, and that rounds out the top 8. Your first 4 rows in the Briggs and Stratton Cadet class. This is an absolutely fabulous age to get involved in motor racing. It's inexpensive. It gives the young drivers a chance to they get to touch the cards, they get to work on them. You know, I remember back at 8 years old getting a little plastic mechanic set, and I was pretending to fix things, and well, and you're working on your cadet kart with dad, and you can touch some real tools and work on things, and it's just a fabulous chance to get the young drivers some experience. It's a first step as they work their way into becoming young adults, and there's a seriousness about it. The whole safety issue, which is #1 at ASN Canada when it comes to kart racing, and they get to work on mechanics with the dad, and it's just a fabulous way for these younger drivers to mature into young people. Once again, Callum Baxter is starting on the front row with Lily Flintoff right behind him, and Ethan Donkers, who I believe, if memory serves me correctly, was on the podium in last year's Briggs and Stratton Cadet race. Look at that, very professional. You gotta love that about the young drivers. The officials only have to tell them something once. Yellow flag, which is standard here on the pace lap, just to remind the drivers that we haven't started racing yet. Minimum speed to respect. The drivers are just very attentive when it comes to following the rules. Much better than we get with some of the older drivers as we're getting ready for the start here of this Canadian Karting Championship in Cadet. Here we go. We have our green flag. In about 15 minutes time, we will have our new Canadian Karting champion. Lily Flintoff seems to have a very good start there on the inside. Yeah, Lily has taken the lead. Lily Flintoff is in first. Looks like Ethan Donkers dropped back into 5th. Yeah, Ethan dropped back into 5th place. Your new leader, Lily Flintoff, who had an absolute 3 wide banging. Look at that, little bit of contact. Some of the drivers being aggressive in the early going. We have a spinner as well. We have another spinner as well. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's only the first lap. We got to make it to the end. Oh, heartbreak so early in the race. Lily Flintoff is still leading this race. And right behind her, that would be your pole sitter, Callum Baxter. Callum Baxter, that was a fabulous start by Lily. And there we got to see what youth and inexperience is all about. You really don't want to be involved in any kind of incident in the first race in the first lap of a race, because it just crushes your hopes. You gotta stay on the track, and I believe that we have Owen Mahar now. That was in 3rd place ahead of Ethan Donkers. You want to avoid those little incidents in the first lap. The idea is to get out there and race and get some experience. Lily Flintoff in an Arrow suit And that is followed by your pole sitter, Callum Baxter. We have Owen Mahar is in third, followed by Ethan Donkers. Ethan Donkers, I expect him to come to the front. Didn't seem to have a very good start. They're very young, of course, but it doesn't mean they don't take this very seriously. Look at the concentration, bending down over the steering wheel, trying to save a little bit on the drag. Doing everything like the grown-ups, and probably a bit better. The only thing going against some of these younger drivers is a lack of experience, which sometimes leads to some of the excitement we saw in the early lap of the race, but they have the talent and the ability to drive just as well as the grown-ups. A fantastic introduction. Oh, look at that. Owen Mahar and Ethan Donker seem to be very strong right now as they are in third and fourth place. Look at that, the concentration as they're bend down. The reason they're bending down like that is they're just trying to lower center of gravity and less drag, as the helmet does. It's quite a big... Oh, we have a pass there. It's Owen Mahar. Owen Mahar gets by your pole sitter, Callum Baxter. Callum Baxter takes him right back, and Ethan Donker's in fourth place. Very aggressive driving in the early goings of the Briggs and Stratton cadet class here of this Canadian Karting Championship, and is often the case when second, third, and fourth are battling. This gives the leader a chance to pull away ever so slightly. Lily Flintoff, still your leader. I just love it when the girls can beat the boys at these so-called boy-type sports, but it's just fabulous. And a lot of time, the younger girls are better drivers at this age because they're very gentle with the steering wheel. The boys are a little bit aggressive. And having said that, Lily Flintoff drops into second place as Callum Baxter, the man who started on pole, is your leader, tapping on his helmet saying, come on Lily, push me down the straight. Let's pull away from the other two. And this way we can maybe battle for the Canadian Karting Championship a little bit later in the race. I think Lily may have fallen a bit asleep there. She was driving alone by herself in first position, and that sometimes happens, especially at a younger age. You get a little bit maybe nonchalant is the word I can use. You're leading the race, you're all alone by yourself, because now that she's dropped into second place, she's definitely got back up to speed as she's right on the bumper of Callum Baxter. Seems to have found a little bit more speed now that it's the old adage of having that carrot to chase. Is a line I've used when coaching younger drivers. When you have that carrot in front of you, it's a lot easier to chase down a driver than to maybe just lead on your own. And there we have side by side Owen Mahar and Ethan Donkers. Owen Mahar maintains his third place. If those two could only work a little bit together, they might catch our leaders. Mind you, Callum Baxter and Lily Flintoff. Oh, there goes Donkers on the inside. Yes, here he comes. Ethan Donkers now up into P3. Lily is dropped back a bit by a couple of kart lengths. Could have been that she just made a mistake. This is early going for these young drivers in their career. They are prone to making some mistakes. Interestingly enough, they are very, very smooth with the steering wheel, but the lack of experience sometimes leads to some little mistakes in concentration, maybe in driving. Just a fabulous, I love this cadet class. It gets the kids involved in racing, it gets the family involved in racing at a very young age. Young adults. Oh, look at Lily. She's all over the bumper of Callum Baxter. Definitely has some speed. She's going to challenge. We've seen quite a few passes here as they go on the outside and then back on the inside. An interesting challenge. You have like 3 combination corners that follow each other. And it's where you position yourself on the entry of these combination corners, which will allow you, usually you can attack on the exit, and it's where you can plan some of your passes. So now Lily Flintoff has got to use the experience that she has gained in her start of kart racing to see if she can get by Callum Baxter. Sometimes the parents are actually, oh, there she goes on the outside again. Hopefully Callum will defend too much, and there she goes. She slingshots around them. That is as professional a pass as you can get in racing by Lily Flintoff. not quite sure of her age, but 8 or 9 years old. That was so well done and thought out. That was like as a professional a move as you're going to get. You can see that in NASCAR from people who've been driving for 20 years. Fantastic move. Callum Baxter tried to protect, not too much, because he was able to fight her coming out of the corner. But just fabulous to see all the thinking and strategy that's going on at this young age. There you go, Lily bent over on her steering wheel, just trying to reduce the drag ever so slightly, as the helmet is a impediment to the whole draft. You're driving into the wind, into the air, and you get your head down a little bit below the steering wheel. Gives you a little bit of speed, and here he comes. Here comes Callum Baxter. Oh, right around the inside. What an audacious path. Lily Flintoff, I don't know if she was caught napping there, because that was a very audacious path as he went all around the inside. That was Callum Baxter did, and I can see out of the corner of my eye that Ethan Donkers has slowly caught up to these two. Yes, that is Ethan Donkers now up into third place, who has slowly caught up to these two. It's interesting how, oh, here she goes again. She tried this move earlier as she went on the outside of one of the combinations, hoping Baxter overshoots the corner and can maybe get him on the exit of the second combination, but no, Baxter's using a fair amount. Yeah, all top three drivers are just stuck together now as Ethan Donkers has decided, hey, I can maybe win this Canadian Karting Championship. Final lap years. Callum Baxter, Lily Flintoff, and Ethan Donkers, who is charging hard. Which one of these three young drivers will be your Canadian Karting Championship? Will it be the two boys, or will it be Our Lady this afternoon, Lily Flintoff? Callum Baxter didn't see, that was a very smart move on his part. Didn't try to protect the corner too much, but maybe just enough to discourage Lily from going down the inside. Now he's protecting very aggressively as they go into this series of combination corners. Great intelligence and strategy by our young drivers here as they're going to battle and maybe sprint to the finish. There goes Lily trying on the outside, hoping Callum will make a little bit of a mistake. Ethan Donkers right up there. Here she comes. Lily Baxter's going to try and go around the outside of Callum Baxter. Lily Flintoff, that is, couldn't quite make it. Ethan Donkers tried to take advantage of that. Now we have our sprint to the finish. Who will be the Canadian Karting Champion? It is, by a nose, Callum Baxter. Oh, Lily looks very disappointed. Callum Baxter, Canadian Karting Champion in the Briggs and Stratton Cadet class. Lily Flintoff in second, and Ethan Donkers, who took a while to get going but did manage to join those two competitors to battle it out. Wasn't missing very much, Ethan. Don't be too discouraged. You'll have many more races, and I can see Lily also looks a little bit disappointed, but the young man of the day, your Canadian Karting Champion in the Briggs and Stratton Cadet class, is Callum Baxter. Baxter, Callum, I've been getting it wrong all race. Lily Flintoff is in second. Ethan Donkers third. Ashton Henkel fourth. Max Pakowitz in five. Aiden Ingrata, and that was Scotty Watkins. I round out the top seven. We had Owen Mahar at one point in third place, and we seem to have lost touch with Owen. Not quite sure what happened there. My spotter was asleep. Sometimes happens. Your winner, Callum Baxter, as he doesn't want to carry the flag around. I guess you say, I'm tired. I want a cool drink. I'm so cool, I won. I don't need to drive around with the Canadian flag to show everybody I won, because I know I won. There he goes. He gets the orange. Ethan Donkers has got his head down in his lap. Okay, that was Lily Flintoff. I'm sorry. Callum Baxter. There you go. I just shot myself in the foot, but that's what us announcers do sometimes. Callum Baxter, very proud young man, holding on to the checkered flag as he does his victory lap, if you want to call it that. Gives chance for the parents, other competitors. A lot of time drivers from other classes come and watch these races, because once your kart is ready and your mechanic have come up with your plan, you can get to enjoy some of the racing as well. Great family sport, this kart racing. Callum Baxter, you are the Canadian karting champion in the Briggs and Stratton. Good sportsmanship there. Oh yeah, this is great because I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do this again. You can see the smile through the helmet. This was an interesting moment as he went all around the inside of Lily Flintoff. I'm sorry, Lily. I think he caught her napping because that was the way he drove around the outside of that corner. Tells me she was not expecting that move, as is mandatory in all forms of kart racing. Well, I'm going to guess that's Mom, as is mandatory in all forms of motor racing. There's a minimum weight to match. There he is, your winner as he crosses the start-finish line, Callum Baxter.
I just started pushing, trying to get away, and it worked. So then later on, I made a pass into first, and then I just held on to it for a bit. I started blocking, and I made a mistake, and then Lily got by me, and then I didn't think I was going to win, but then in the second last lap, I passed her on the outside.
And that was a great move going on the outside. You're the Canadian champion in the cadet class in Briggs and Stratton. Congratulations.
Thank you.
One of the most exciting moments of kart racing. Ah, there we go. Lily's got a big smile now. She seemed to be a little disappointed. Ethan Donker's shaking her hand. Young gentleman out there, that's for sure. And your winner, Canadian karting champion, Callum Baxter, getting his first place trophy from the representative of Briggs and Stratton. Our top 3 drivers in this cadet class, Callum, Lily, and Ethan. Congratulations to our podium winners. CHAMPKART brought to you by Briggs and Stratton.